Hello, and welcome to the Table and Well podcast. I'm Tennyson.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for joining us as we discuss topics and give practical tools that help you live, grow, and be in healthy, joy-filled relationship with God, yourself, and others.
For more information and resources, or if you're looking for coaching, connection, and community, visit tableandwell.org. We hope you enjoy this podcast. Hello, and thank you for joining us on the Table and Well podcast. This is season 4, episode 1. Guys, we have been gone for a while.
Yeah.
I don't even know, maybe a year? Not quite a year.
Sure.
Somewhere in there.
An eternity.
Eternity?
Somewhere between a year and an eternity.
I think that's fair. It's very fair. Yeah, so we took some time off from doing the podcast and actually doing Table and Well as well. Just to refocus and to just get stuff together would be the best way to say that. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of life has happened.
Yeah.
And so we took some time away to just
care for ourselves well.
Yeah.
That's important.
That's very important. Yeah. Yep. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what was needed.
Yeah. And we want to be people who model what we teach and not be telling everybody else to rest and be with themselves and then not do that for ourselves. And so it's been a sweet season, but it's also come with some wild cards.
There's been some wild cards.
Yep.
And some challenges and we're still in the middle of it.
We are.
And so, in saying all that, we're moving into literally a new season.
Yeah.
Of Table and Well, of life. Yeah. Of family, and all of that. And I'm really excited about where we're going.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm really excited about this next series of podcasts that we're going to be doing. I think it's really timely. I think it's really interesting because over the last probably 2 weeks that we've been talking about different things, these different topics keep coming up anyway. Yeah. So it's really,
you kind of begin to see them everywhere, you know, like how much it really does influence life and choices. And, I'm excited to share what we're sitting on and, what we're thinking about.
Yeah. So that being said, we are starting a new series, and it is called With-ness, the connected marriage you've been longing for. And that coincides directly with really the new place, or the focus that we're really looking at with Table and Well right now, coming into our lab starting really soon. I'm really focusing on marriage and family, healthy marriages, healthy family. How do we actually live relationally mature, relationally connected to God, ourselves, and others, and our family, and our marriage? How do we grow in all these different skills, and how do we become who we really all want to be at the end of the day?
Yeah. And one thing that we've really noticed in our labs, we've served singles, we've served married couples, we've served parents, and relationships exist inside all of those places. Marriage tends to be one of the bigger testers of them. I would say parenting probably the other. And it is one of those areas where we're forced to grow, where being mature and being in a mutually satisfying relationship is required of us. Absolutely. Right? To have a healthy, happy marriage. And us included have spent many years not having what we need to be able to do that well. Like, we know that that's the objective, right? Yep. Or the idea or the dream or what we've seen on some romantic movie. Right. That somehow we're supposed to do this. Yes. That we're supposed to live happily ever after. But it's harder than what we've been skilled for and what we've been prepared for. And we've never really talked about what it looks like to apply these skills within marriage. Yeah. And besides, the conversations we've had in labs, but we want to be really intentional about that. Yeah. Because most people who are struggling in relationship are often struggling in their marriage relationship.
Absolutely. And one of the things too, I think is interesting as we talk about this, because that's one of the biggest desires of all of our hearts is the connection. Yeah. That's really it. Whether it is in our relationships, whether in marriage or friends or family. Specifically, what we're talking about is marriage here. And I think one of the issues that comes up in marriages a lot, people talk a lot about, well, we're not communicating, or we're dealing with the kids, or we have financial problems, or we have all these different things. But I proposed the question, what if it really all comes back to connection? What if all of those things maybe are the symptoms of the connection problem that we have? And that's kind of where it all starts is with that connection piece. And that's where, when we're not fully connected, then that's where things kind of get, can come unhinged a little bit.
Right. And we've even noticed this in our own lives, right? Like we have stressors, or we notice that like stressors are coming.
Right.
And we're realizing like, oh, wait, if we're not connected in the day-to-day and truly connected, not just teammates, not just doing life together because like we happen to live in the same house and share the same bank account, but truly connected heart to heart, then we are not going to be able to navigate this well, or we already realize we're not navigating this well because we're doing it disconnected.
Right.
But just like, this, we tease about the sign saying like, choose joy. It's like, like we're also not we're not saying like just choose connection.
Right.
Because it's not a thing. Like it's not, it is a choice. There are definitely choices along the way, but how do we actually do that? And that's what this podcast is about. What is influencing our ability to connect? What's influencing our inability to connect? Why have we lost connection? And what do we do about it? Where is our influence coming from that creates those spaces? It's not just life. Life does throw curveballs.
Absolutely.
And it does throw things into the path and can create disconnection between two people in a marriage. And it often starts way before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way. If we think about it too, when we get married, when we enter into this relationship of marriage, like the one thing that we're actually all looking for is it's all really the same thing. You want to be known, you want to be loved, you want to be seen, you want to be heard, and we want belonging, and we want someone to experience that with.
Yeah.
And again, and those are the longings of our heart. Like those are the deepest. God put those in everybody.
Right.
That's everyone's deepest desire, is to be seen, known, loved, heard, and then belonging is another part of that. And so, but when we're not connected, or we're not securely attached to each other, then that starts. Again, it starts to wane, and it starts to deteriorate a little bit.
Yeah.
And like you said, the problems, I think it was a little earlier, like a lot of those initial things that we always think are the problems, that if you read all the books, if you read all the things, people will say when you go to counseling, and you're like, well, you just need to communicate more. You just need to do this, or you just need to do that. At the end of the day, it comes back to, we're not connected. We're not securely attached anymore. Somewhere along the line, something has happened that has begun to have us drift apart from that space.
Right. And we've talked about secure attachment before in other podcasts. Like some people may really understand that definition, and some may not understand what that means.
Yeah.
But it means that I am safe. We are safe in this relationship. I don't have to earn my belonging here. I don't have to perform for it. I don't have to serve to get it. I don't have to fight for it.
Yeah.
And there's a balance here of, I can belong as I am.
Yes.
But also, I am not just doing this for me. This relationship really is, again, back to that mutually satisfying.
Yes. Yep.
Where we are securely attached, but we are also in this to be mutually satisfied.
Yes.
And that is what we want when we're standing at the altar. Like nobody, we haven't really had language for this before, right? Like we have these vows for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. Like no matter how hard it gets, I'm not going anywhere, right? That's the commitment we make. And then we realize like, oh shoot, like this is harder than we thought it was, because maybe we didn't experience secure attachment in our childhood, and we're coming in with anxious attachment, or we're coming in with avoidant attachment. And then we're just squirreling around each other, trying to get our needs met. And it's not working out well. And so even as we talk about this idea of with-ness, we talked about this before we recorded the podcast, like this is not a utopic, like we're not here to give you a utopic idea. Right. Like we are practical people who are contending for a better way. between where we are and that better way is work. It's not a utopic idea that we get to like we talk about rubbing Jesus on it. Like we're not just going to rub some with-ness on it.
Right.
And everything is going to be okay.
Yeah,
there's work, fine. Right? There's work and healing and shifting and learning new attachment in the midst of that. But I would say the biggest hijacker when it comes to where we really start to turn corners in our marriage is that we begin in love. We begin in this idea of, I would do anything for you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, no matter what it looks like. And then fear enters the picture. And we begin to shift our relationship from a love-based relationship to a fear-based relationship.
So true. And like when that happens, like, because it happens slowly over time. It is literally kind of the title, like why marriages drift. Like we drift away. It's like we don't ever wake up in the morning, one morning, and say, "Hey, I don't want to be connected today."
Yeah,
that I don't feel like being connected to you.
Right.
It's nobody ever does that, and no one ever says like, "Well, you know, whatever those different things that we're going to talk."
I don't know if no one ever says that.
No, that's true. I guess it depends on who you're talking to and what the situation
is. But usually it doesn't shift like that overnight. Unless, I mean, obviously if there's ruptures, that's the reality. And I think the hardest part about this podcast is that we're talking about marriages in all different stages and places and intentions and health. And so,
Yeah. And so, because in this podcast, in this series, we're going to be looking at some different, how does fear show up in our relationships? It shows up differently in depending on attachment style and your upbringing and kind of what you are looking for, because at the end of the day, we're going to talk through some things, but everything that we're going to talk through and the negative side of how we try to control to keep love alive, so to speak, or to keep the relationship, it all comes from a place of, I want deeper connection. And so everything that you do is to get the connection that you want, but we don't do it from a place of love. It comes from a place of fear, like you said. And so, so we're going to look at some of those things and those kind of our 4 different stances per se of what it looks like to,
when we're living
in a place of fear in a marriage.
Yeah. And just as a caveat in talking about where marriages are, I would say this podcast really is designed for those who aren't in the midst of a deep rupture. This podcast is really about those who have noticed that they've drifted, noticed that they've lost connection, that they've become teammates rather than deeply connected partners. We, through a podcast, cannot heal deep ruptures, and that's not what we're attempting to do here. So I just want to make that clear, because otherwise I feel like we're going to I will caveat through the whole entire podcast around like, but this doesn't apply here. Like this really is designed for the couple who, like you said, like didn't necessarily wake up one day and was like, I'm over this. But more the ones who are like, what happened to us?
What happened?
And where did that connection go? And why are we behaving the way we're behaving? Because this is not actually who we are and what we agreed to do and who we agreed to be. But we don't know maybe how we got here, and we don't quite know what to do to get back to what we deeply long for.
Yeah. And it's a slow burn, so to speak. You know, when you go through this, fear slowly replaces where love sat. And I talk about this in different spaces too, but with Life Model and Jim Water, one of the things he talks about is these love bonds and fear bonds, and what's our motivation, and how do we connect, or what's the motivation behind what we're doing? Is it love or is it fear?
Right.
And it's interesting because one of the things I've noticed is a lot of times what looks like love is actually based in fear. How I say it is, fear masquerades as love. And we do things that we think are loving, or that we think are from a motivation of love, but at reality, it's from fear.
Or we or we are trying to save the relationship, trying to keep the relationship,
right?
But we're afraid of losing it, and that's what's motivating us. Versus we are moving toward it and developing it into a healthy relationship.
Yeah,
we're desperately trying to keep it alive, no matter what it costs.
Yeah, it's that this idea of fear always asks, like, how can I protect myself?
Yep.
How can I stay safe in this situation?
Yep.
What can I do to keep my marriage?
Right.
What can I do to keep this relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. And then love is really asking, how can I move toward you?
Yeah.
How can I grow in depth, or how can this become a deeper, safer for both of us?
Yes.
Versus just for me. Yeah. And I think in this idea of moving toward, when we notice that we're not able to do that, often that is a space to notice, where is fear in this? In this, right?
Yeah.
Like there's clearly something going on that doesn't make that feel safe.
Right. Yeah.
Now, marriage is made up of two people.
Yes. Yep.
And one of those people only has control over one of those people.
One of those people. Right. Yep.
Right? Like there is no.
Yeah. So it should be. And that's really how it is. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But let's be honest, we spend a lot of time trying to get our partner to change.
Yes.
Thinking that our partner is the problem, or trying to get them to grow, or to engage, or to connect. And there's some reality around that.
Absolutely.
I hate to break it to you.
Okay.
But the only person you truly can change is yourself.
That is correct.
But what's great about this is that it gives conversation for each person in the marriage to evaluate what is going on here. What am I noticing? And that's what we really want to do in this podcast, is create that conversation for couples and each podcast that we do is going to present an opportunity for conversation around, where am I noticing this in me? And each person to be asking that. And then I hope there's an opportunity for each one to say, hey, are you noticing something in me that maybe fear is playing in? Or as we talk about this more, there's more pieces to it.
Yeah.
But
I want to say, because I love that, but I also want to say it again. And I think, but in a space where this is not you're doing this wrong. Conversation.
No, it's not.
This isn't you're living like this.
Right.
This series of podcasts, and as we dig deep into these different spaces, is really more a reflective.
Yeah.
For you to look in the mirror and say, where am I noticing this in me? And what can I do to do something different? Because like you said, we can only control ourselves.
Right.
And one of the things that we talk about a lot too is this idea of being a powerful person, or being someone who, and it's not, that doesn't mean you're the loudest person in the room. It doesn't mean that you come in and try to make everyone bend to your will, quote unquote.
Right.
It's actually about
or to fix people,
or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's this idea of you becoming the best version of yourself, you becoming the person, the man or
whole
woman,
healthy person
that God designed you to be.
Yep.
And the more you grow in that space, then what you're actually doing is you're giving permission for the other people in your life to actually be the best version of themselves as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to change someone, change yourself.
Yep.
And be who you were designed to be.
Yeah. And not only permission, but invitation.
I love that. I like that word better than permission.
But I think there is a permission aspect. We've talked a lot about that. Like the more that I am living in my identity, it frees you up to be able to live in your identity, because we're not performing, we're not pretending, we're not being someone that we're not. And that we're both on the same page of, that's the goal, is that I become my whole full self, who I am created to be, my identity. And so are you.
Yes.
And I'm invested in that, right? Like that's really a lot of what marriage should be, is that I'm invested in you becoming your full whole self.
Yes.
And if you're invested in me becoming my full whole self, and I'm also invested in me becoming my full whole self, and you're invested, like I think there's also this weird switch in marriage too, where it's like, I'm supposed to somehow be investing completely in you, and you're supposed to be investing completely in me, but I'm not actually investing in me, and you're not actually investing in you, and then we end up in trouble. But that's for another day.
For another podcast.
So let's
go. Another podcast. So
let's come back to, but that creates fear.
It does create
too,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely, because it's like, well, what if I'm the only one that's going to do something? So then I have to create spaces so they can change. I mean, there's a lot of things, and so it's interesting about, because when fear comes in, it basically it looks like control.
Well, it looks like a lack of safety. Yeah. And so when fear comes in, I no longer feel safe.
That's actually really good.
Yeah. A litmus test of love is there is safety there.
Safety there.
And so when fear is involved, there is a lack of safety felt. Not always communicated or expressed, but definitely felt. Yeah. And then, like you were saying, then as a human response, we try to gain control.
Right.
To be able to correct the feeling of safety or lack of safety.
Lack of safety, right. And then if the more we try to control, then sometimes it gets to the point where actually control feels safer than trust.
Right. Right. Because trust is a risk.
It's a risk.
Right. And if we've had experiences in our lives where we have not learned what it is to build trust, to know that trust leads to safety and safety leads to trust, and there's a cycle that we participate in and that other people participate in, that we teach in our collabs, then that can be really tricky. And you're right. If we don't feel like we can trust, then we will control to get that back. Because then we're like, oh, the only person I can trust here is me.
Right. Yep.
And so I am going to put things in place to be able to assure myself that I am safe.
Yeah. And so as we move forward in this, we're going to look at the really 4 different ways that people, or couples, even people, individuals, whatever, seek safety in their relationships. And so some of them is performance is one way that people seek safety. Another one is certainty. So having this, like, I know that this is going to happen if I do this, then you try, again, all different forms of control that you may not seem like control, but at the end of the day, you'll see as we unpack these a little bit more. Some seek safety through having their needs met, or consuming, like, oh, I feel safe when I know that I can get something from this. And then the last one would be seeking safety through appearance or purpose. And I would say on their own, they're not healthy. Right. But as we talked about with-ness, when we're doing this together, then these things all naturally happen. But I'm going to save that for a later podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I think an interesting point about the performance piece is that it's performance, but it's also this almost false performance service kind of type thing.
Yes.
Because I think appearance and performance can come off as in the same word if you don't have context for it. But
pleasing.
The pleasing. Yeah. The pleasing side of performance.
Pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really good.
Yeah. And so some of this might actually start to sound familiar to you if you were with us for our With series. Yep. Sky Jatani has expressed such a beautiful and revelatory idea around how we relate to God, and that the goal is to learn to relate to God in a with-ness stance, in a secure attachment relationship, not over, not under, not from, and not for.
Right.
And if you haven't heard the podcast series or haven't read the book, I recommend both. But we're going to actually talk about how this plays into our marriage too, and that our goal is to live a marriage with, and to ensure that some of these other stances that we can take in relationships are not also happening within our relationship unaware.
Yes.
And maybe they are happening and you never had language for it. And we're hoping that through this series, we can give you some language to acknowledge what might be at play and what to do about it.
Yeah. And so, and before we jump into these 4, and we're going to do a deep dive into each one of these 4s in upcoming podcasts. I do want to just let you guys know too, that these are not personality types. These are not like, oh, this is who you are. But these are relational strategies that we impose or that we use to get, like I said, very, very beginning, to find and to get the God-given to satisfy the God-given longing in our heart for safety, security, connection, belonging, pick a great, healthy relational word.
Right.
But these are just,
and it's what we need.
It's what we need.
Right. Yeah. We cannot survive without relationship. We were created for connection, and we will adapt and do whatever we need to do. To get it. And so these are some strategies, like you said, that we'll use to get those needs met.
Yep.
But there are healthy ways to go about that too, and that's what we want to share.
Yeah. So, all right.
You've been listening to the Table and Well podcast. New episodes stream every Tuesday. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review to let us know. Also, subscribe on your favorite listening platform to stay up to date on all things Table and Well. To learn more, start your journey, or get information on how Table and Well can help develop your community, family, or teams to be relationally healthy and authentically connected, please go to tableandwell.org/collab to schedule an interest call, or you can email us directly at known@tableandwell.org.